Hello and welcome to video number 3. So what we're going to do today is get right into it. We got to start lifting. Before you lift, I'm going to set you up on the most important part about lifting, which is preparing to lift. Nothing is more important than that. So there's 3 big parts you have to do. Part 1, you have to get your body warm. Warming up with the kettlebell doesn't count. Run, skip, jump, something ballistic, but you need the body warm. You have to ballistically warm. Number 2 is there's a series of mobility exercises you really have to go through. You want to integrate these into your practice all the time. In other words, how do I increase my range of motion? How do I increase my flexibility? How do I increase my strength under flexibility? All of these things need to be practiced on a regular basis, and they start before you do your first lift. The last part is that we're gonna actually warm up with the kettlebell, and I'm gonna take you through a series of warm-up exercises specifically for kettlebell lifting for your joints and your muscles, so you can do that the right way. Okay, so I'm gonna go real fast through the ballistic warm-up. One of my favorites is actually using the row machine, the erg machine rower. I find that a really great one because you get that big stretch forward and pull. Your warm-up doesn't have to be long, but you do want to at least start the idea of breaking a sweat. The idea is you want that nice base of warmth under your body so that your muscles can move really, really easily. Once that's happening, you're going to start to open up the body in different ways. So specifically, you're going for the shoulder girdle and the hips. And I'm going to take you through a really easy sequence, but it'll help you get ready. So starting with your feet shoulder width apart, you're going to stand up nice and tall, and you're going to start with the upper body, and you're going to reach your hands all the way up, and it's going to be pulling over to the side. Pulling over to the side. Look how I bend my knees so I can get more over, and then I straighten my legs to increase the amount of flex in there. And then I would do the same thing going backwards. This is not so much the shoulders, I'm trying to get into the hips, and then a forward fold. And notice how I close my ribs to my thighs. So I'm going to do those a couple of times to really open it up. The next part I'm going to move to is start to get the knees and the hips into play. And so here's a nice deep squat stretch that we do. And then from here, you're going to go side to side. You can hear my knees opening up. Yeah. And then I'm going to follow by sticking my hands under my feet and stretching to straighten that. And then that's another pattern that I'm going to go through to warm up the hips and the knees and the hamstrings. So stepping into a lunge with both of my hands on the floor in line with my foot. My heel is flat. My knee is over my heel. And so my first step is going to be to go low and work my elbows to the floor. That's going to help me get the inside of the leg. And then I put my hand on the knee and I'm going to twist and rotate. And if you do that well, you'll get a nice crack. And then the last part of this stretch, put my hands on the floor and straighten the front leg. And this gives you a really complete stretch for the hips and the hamstrings. I step forward, step backwards, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So now we're starting to see we're working our way down from the head to the shoulders to the hips. Okay, and then we're going to finish out with a couple that you may or may not know, but they're really important for you to get shoulder rotation. So you'll see this one in yoga, they call it downward dog in yoga. But in kettlebell lifting circles, this is a very real movement for shoulder and spine mobility. So what I'm really doing is focusing to keep my shoulders down my back and keep my arms locked out. And you can see I use that rotation of my arms to pull my shoulders down more. And that's a big part of you learning how to work in the right way. Beautiful work. Okay, so that would be your body weight mobility, and you probably should spend 15 good minutes on those. Your warm-up, your ballistic warm-up, at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You can see the warm-up itself takes a long time. Okay, so the next part is the actual kettlebell. So how do we actually get prepped with the kettlebell? So we're not working out right now. I'm just saying, what movements do you do to get the body warm? So we start with the round the body series, but I'm going to regress a little bit to get right back to the beginning. So I'm going to start my legs wider than my shoulders, and my first move is going to be twist. And in this movement, I'm literally trying to open the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists in this ballistic circular fashion. We'll talk later about how the shoulder works and why this is important. But the truth is, the shoulder as a joint has a lot of rotation in it when it's pushing and pulling. And so part of what you need to do when you're warming up the shoulder girdle is add some rotation action, because you'll need that when you need to secure your shoulder. We need to pull and push with the triceps and the biceps. The muscles in the shoulder girdle are a really big part of keeping the integrity in that. So I hope you're watching me as I move my body around and go into the stretch. I'm doing it fast. Typically, I might do like 25 or 30 or 50 of each one of those, but I move to the next. But I'm just showing you some patterns so you'll know what to work on. We call this a one arm round the body swing. And you can see, keep my feet firmly planted. I'm letting my arms stay relaxed. You can see what corner my hand is in. But the idea here is to kind of give a pull on the tendons and the muscles in the shoulders and get your body used to changing direction. Every time I change direction, that stretch goes all the way through my body. So I'm switching hands here. So when you're warming up and doing this one, there's different ways to do it. I'm going to take you through some of them, but this is one of the most important ways where you just kind of sit in one hand for a while, because it's very realistic and close to what a long-term set in kettlebell would look like, feel like. We'll talk about this exercise sequence a lot because it's really important. So the next step would be to do this movement while switching hands in front. And again, I'm trying to get the full range around the shoulders, using my legs, working my posture. You can even start to work the breath into it. This one, compared to the last version we did, is going to be way easier because you get the advantage of changing hands. And then the next step would be what we call around the body. And this one here, you're practicing momentum. You can see I'm using my entire body to lift and move the weight. Yeah. It's really more about grip strength, momentum, and honestly, setting a tempo and a pace to go under the weight. As you can see, everything that I've done here is really, really easy. So you might do it once with like a weight that you would consider medium, and then follow that up by a heavier weight, doing 2 or 3 sets like that, making sure you're taking the time to open up your hips and your back in the right way. If you're looking for the names of these exercises, check the exercise library that we have on the YouTube channel, and you'll know exactly what to do next. Woo! I'm getting warm, are you? I see you on the next video.